Hello, I'm Jennifer from the Bellingham Public Library, here to present 7 books for you to check out this summer. All of these titles are available through the Bellingham Public Library and Whatcom County Library systems. Place them on hold to pick up at your closest branch or check out the ebook or e-audiobook versions on Libby. Your school librarian can help you get started. As I talk about each book, you'll see a slide featuring the book cover, a quote about or from the book, and some key descriptive words about the book. I hope that these things complement each book talk. Sadie by Courtney Summers. 19-year-old Sadie Hunter's life is hard in her small, decaying little town, but she tries to make a normal life for her 13-year-old sister, Maddie, since her drug-addicted mother is mostly out of the picture. But then Maddie is found dead, and Sadie's world begins to crumble. As she becomes obsessed with bringing Maddie's killer to justice, she disappears. When West McCrae, a radio personality working on a segment about forgotten towns in America, overhears Sadie's story at a local gas station, he becomes obsessed with finding Sadie, starting a podcast to track the missing girl. Part of the book is told as a podcast, like you're reading West's narration and his interviews with Sadie's neighbor and other people Sadie has come in contact with, and conversations with his news producer. The other chapters are in Sadie's voice, what is actually happening as she seeks justice and vengeance for her sister's death. This is a grim and desperate tale that is as intriguing and mesmerizing as any mystery or true crime story you can find. Pet by Akwaeke Amizi. The children in the city of Lucille are taught that there are no more monsters. With doting parents and a best friend named Redemption, Jam has grown up with this lesson all her life. But when she meets Pet, a creature made of horns and colors and claws, who emerges from one of her mother's paintings in a drop of Jam's blood, she must reconsider what she's been told. Pet has come to hunt a monster, and the shadow of something grim lurks in Redemption's house. Jam must fight not only to protect her best friend, but also to uncover the truth and the answer to the question, how do you save the world from monsters if no one will admit they exist? Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. The world is thrown into chaos when the dead rise at Gettysburg. In order to salvage what's left of the U.S., the Civil War ends in a compromise that frees enslaved peoples but forces them into combat schools to train them to slay the undead shamblers. Jane McKean, a Black teen born to a white mother, is shipped off to the most prestigious of schools, Miss Preston's. During the day, she trains with the other girls eager to be selected as an attendant to a wealthy white family, which is a much better job than fighting shamblers on the front lines. And at night, she roams the countryside, taking out shamblers and saving the innocent. When her sometimes beau, Red Jack, asks for her help in locating his missing sister, Jane and frenemy classmate Catherine run afoul of a corrupt mayor and his clan of survivalists. All Jane wants is to get back to Baltimore and find her mother, but first she'll have to outlast flesh-eating shamblers in a corrupt and racist society. The Electric Kingdom by David Arnold. The world has been completely devastated by the flu flies, leaving only small groups of survivors with no technology or organized institutions. Nico lives in a barricaded farmhouse in New Hampshire, while Kit lives in an abandoned theater with his mom and adopted siblings who were orphaned after a swarm attack. Nico and her dog head out on a journey devised by Nico's father to find a mythical portal. Kit's mother dies, so he and his siblings leave in search of a rumored haven. And then there is the enigmatic deliverer, who lives life after life in an attempt to put the world back together. As swarms of infectious flies roam the earth, these few survivors navigate the woods of post-apocalyptic New England, meeting others along the way, each on their own quest to find life and light in a world gone dark. Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare. In the town of Kettle Springs, Missouri, there's an abandoned factory with a big clown painted on the side. This lovely sight greets Quinn as she looks out her bedroom window in her new home. Having lost her mother only a short time ago, Quinn promises her father she'll do her best to make a go of it in this new town, for his sake as well as her own. But something is wrong in this quiet town, and it has to do with Friendo the clown and cornfields. There's a strange tension between the teens and the adults of Kettle Springs, and the conflict between the old and new ways is reaching a breaking point, a very gory breaking point. The Lovely War by Julie Berry. To show her husband Hephaestus the real meaning of love and its connection to war and art, Aphrodite, with the help of Apollo, Hades, and Ares, tells the emotion-packed World War I saga of two couples drawn together by music and war. British pianist Hazel and soldier James, and African-American jazz musician and soldier Aubrey and Colette, a Belgian war orphan with a remarkable singing voice. After James reports to duty, Hazel follows, taking a wartime volunteer position in France. There, she meets Colette, who is still reeling from her wartime losses, and introduces her to Aubrey, who quickly steals Colette's heart. James and Aubrey witness horrors on and off the battlefield, and Hazel and Colette cling to each other during the best and worst of times. The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza by Sean David Hutchinson. 16-year-old Elena Mendoza is the product of a virgin birth. This can be scientifically explained. It's called parthenogenesis. But what can't be explained is how Elena is able to heal Freddie, the girl she's had a crush on for years, from a gunshot wound in a Starbucks parking lot. Or why the boy who shot Freddie, David Combs, disappeared from the same parking lot minutes later after getting sucked up into the clouds. What also can't be explained are the talking girl on the front of a tampon box or the reasons that David Combs shot Freddie in the first place. As more unbelievable things occur and Elena continues to perform miracles, the only remaining explanation is the least logical of all, that the world is actually coming to an end, and Elena is possibly the only one who can do something about it. You can find more new books in categories of interest on our website. Here are the teen lists that are currently available. These lists are updated at least twice a year by me. And you can get to them by visiting bellinghampubliclibrary.org, clicking on Books and More, and then Staff Picks. Scroll down to the second tier of columns to find teen picks and enjoy. Whether you check out these titles or others, I hope you have a good summer full of adventure, good times, and great books. See you later.